Coming up next on Access Framingham TV is Framingham Fan to Fan, where we discuss all things sports in Framingham. Today we're talking Keefe Tech sports with Athletic Director Chris Kane and two of the student athletes. Stay tuned, this is going to be great. This is Framingham Fan to Fan on Access Framingham TV. Hi, I'm Dave Horfischer, a Framingham sports fan, and I'm pleased to host this interview show whose purpose is to highlight those who are involved in Framingham sports at all levels. Through the show, we hope to increase awareness and ideally fan support of these fun sporting events right in our own community, and also to help use sports to achieve AFTV's goal of building community. Today, I'm pleased to welcome Chris Kane, the athletic director of Keefe Tech, and two of the athlete participants there, Briae Hughes, a cross-country basketball and track athlete, and Kevin Luna Torres, also in cross-country basketball and track. Welcome. It's great to have you on Framingham Fan to Fan.
Well, thanks for inviting us. Happy to be here.
Thanks so much.
Chris, why don't you begin by talking a little bit about your role as athletic director? That sounds like it encompasses a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the role as athletic director, absolutely. It's something you have to love to do, and you don't mind spending the time at school. But I was there for a majority of the time coaching football, but the switch over to athletic director gave me another awareness of all the other sports and all the other activities that Keefe Tech has to offer. There's never a dull moment. I enjoy walking the halls, watching practices, setting up the bus schedules, the competition schedules, and watching the contests as they unfold during the course of the year. It's just been a great experience. I love every minute of it.
18 sports, and you must have some well-worn roller skates for...
I go through my sneakers pretty quickly. Yeah, throughout the course of the year, we offer a variety of sports, up to 18 total at the moment.
So we're in the fall-winter season. You've got basketball, and I understand you got both men's and women's basketball.
Yep.
And you've got ice hockey and...
Yep. So boys and girls basketball program, ice hockey. We also have a wrestling team and a cheerleading squad.
So that encompasses a lot of stuff, and you've been doing this for 33 years, so you must have figured out some things right now.
Yeah, 33 years, and it just can't believe it's been that long, to tell you the truth. Just goes by very quickly. So.
And you told me you're getting ready to retire.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap that around my head a little bit, because it's a concept of I can't believe I'm at that stage of the game. I started at Ashland High School, graduated from there, 78, off to Framingham State, spent 2 years at Northeastern. Then in 1985, I started at Keefe Tech, and it's been a one-stop shop. I've been there ever since and loved every minute of it.
Well, that's great, and I'm sure with all the variety of stuff you've done there, you're going to find some exciting new things to do.
I'm sure.
Maybe you'll host a sports talk show like this.
Maybe I'll be sitting
on
there.
My bucket. I'm going to need a replacement in 10 years.
10 years, all right. Time to get ready,
Something
I guess.
like this. Well, let's talk with a couple of our athletes. Briae, why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got into Keefe Tech? Why are you there?
I'm at Keefe Tech because I wanted a lead and a jump ahead of the other students who go to FHS, because I will have more education than them on what I want to do, which is become a cardiologist. And I know it's sort of high expectations for myself, but health careers will really help me and set me up for that. So, yeah.
You're going to help keep me to stay here for 10 more years as a cardiologist.
Yes, of course.
You really pursue that really fast. And talk a little bit about why you got into sports.
I got into sports because I wanted to keep myself healthy, and I wanted something to do with my time rather than just sit down and watch TV, because that's what I used to do, and it just wasn't cutting it anymore. So I wanted to get involved with the school in some way, so I decided to join sports.
Terrific. Kevin, talk a little bit about, you're from Ashland, I understand.
Yes, yeah. I came from Ashland Middle School. Coming to Keefe, my family has like a history with Keefe Tech. We have generations and generations from graduates, so that kind of influenced me going to Keefe Tech. But honestly, it's been the best decision I made going to Keefe Tech. It's brought me so much, and it's still bringing me so many opportunities.
And you're a senior, and what's been your focus at Keefe?
My focus has been culinary arts. That's the program I chose, and it's come a long way. I've had opportunities now. I'm on co-op. Instead of going to school, I actually go to work and get paid. Really? Which is a great opportunity that I took to be a part of.
Where do you work? Yeah.
I actually work right next door at the Keefe Tech cafeteria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the, okay.
Well, because I do a lot of sports, so
right. Okay. Well,
it just comes in handy.
That's the place that has these great lunches for the public.
Yes, it does.
I've been there once, and I had a great time. And yeah, so tell me a little bit about the lunch. It's very expensive, I understand. It costs like $50 or something. No, that's a rumor.
Yeah, it is a rumor.
That's a rumor.
It's very cheap because the school pays a lot for the electricity bill and all that. But it's honestly a great place to come and visit because it's student-led, which is great. So all the students do all the work. They prep the food, they make the food, they serve it. We have waitresses and waiters giving you the food, which is great. You really get to see all aspects of a restaurant.
Is this Monday through Friday?
It's Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 to 1.
Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 to 1. Go and get lunch at Keefe Tech, and you might meet some of the star athletes at Keefe Tech when you're doing so. Well, that's great. Let's talk a little bit about your sports experiences a little bit. You're both in cross-country track, right? Briae, tell me about what got you into cross-country. Is that that's a long run, right? Is that?
Yeah, that's
how far is
about
it?
3.15, right? Yeah,
Miles?
3.15 miles. Yes,
Oh,
a race,
5K.
full 5K. So I actually started in middle school, but I wasn't the greatest at it, so I continued it in Keefe Tech, and I've gotten so much better with all the coaching here. It's amazing, and I've had so many great opportunities. We actually have this really fun meet. It's called the Twilight Meet, and we run at night. It's in Cape Cod. It's so fun, and it's just a great experience.
That's like a tournament, sort of, with schools from all vocational schools, or is this wide open for the whole state?
It's wide open. It's invitational.
It's an invitational.
Yeah, it's
Invitational,
wide
yes.
open to every school.
And do both boys and girls run in the same meet, or do you just run separately?
So they have the boys meet, the boys varsity, they have the boys JV, and then they have the girls JV and the girls varsity.
Oh, that's exciting. So, and then what do you do in track? Is that's a shorter run, right? Or are you 4 milers or something? No.
There's all different events in track. So there's field events and there's the actual races, and there's lots of them. So for field events, there's the high jump, there's the long jump, triple jump, shot put, javelin, and discus, I believe. Okay. And there's a wide array.
And so which one do you do?
Running. I do lots of different races. They have me doing a lot of different ones. Okay. Just whatever I can do to score points against the other teams. But for the field events, I do triple jump and long jump.
So have you won any? Do you have any gold medals?
Not yet.
Come close?
Not quite.
Making
not quite
progress.
in the, not
Well,
quite
you're
in the jumping,
right?
but yeah.
In jumping, is that your best one?
I'm not the best at the field events.
Okay.
I like the races better.
Okay.
I just do the field events to try and score some points, but I like the races better. The 400 meter is my favorite. Yep.
And you, Kevin?
I've been successful a little bit. I won second at the state vocational meet for the mile. I also broke the school record last year for the mile, which was just great. Being able to do that was a great opportunity. Yeah, I really dug down and just focused on the mile my whole time there.
So how do you progress in something like that? When you first started out, you were probably, if you're like me, you were probably running a 15-minute mile. But, but you were probably at, where were you, and how do you slowly progress? I mean, did you start this as a freshman, and you're a senior, and so?
So it actually started with soccer. At Keefe Tech, we did a lot of running and training there, which I lost a lot of weight because coming into high school, I did not look like I played sports. But after that, I went into track my freshman year, and I became successful in the 800. I placed 6th in the league as a freshman, which was a great accomplishment. And I stuck with it, and the coach really pushed me towards cross country. And now it's just been a long journey since then.
But in terms of improving your time in the mile, when did you really kind of begin, I mean, like to take 5 seconds off of your time is probably a big deal, right?
Oh yeah. It's really a lot of mental. It comes down to mental. Well, it does come to training as well, but when you're in the race, it's really you have to push yourself in order to get that
Yeah,
time.
talk about that a little bit, because I think that's kind of exciting. I think a mile runner is really one of the great, I mean, certainly when you see Usain Bolt or somebody in the Olympics doing it, I mean, what do you think? You know, they say go when you're going. I mean, well, in a mile you have about 3 or 4, you have about 4 minutes to probably do it, right?
Yeah.
And so do you really push yourself right from the start, or do you try and save something for the kick?
So for me personally, in the start, I tend to start not slow, but I tend to build up my pace. So usually around the second and third lap is when I start to like push it more, and then the fourth lap, it's all the gas I have in my tank.
And so you're running against other people, and you're aware of who's next to you, right, and who's close.
Yes, I have rivalries, so they help me a lot. So improving my time.
And there are probably some people you've run against before.
Oh yes, during cross country and track season, we see each other all the time.
Sure.
It's
So,
fun.
so the league that you're in, Chris, tell me a little bit about the structure of sports. And Keefe is Division 4 sports, is it?
Yeah, we're in Central Mass, Division
Central
3.
Oh,
It's
Division 3.
called,
Okay.
yeah, the Colonial Athletic League, comprised mainly of vocational schools, Assabet, Blackstone Valley Tech, Worcester Tech, Monty Tech, Neshoba Tech, Bay Path. So we compete against schools similar to ours, vocational schools. But before I continue, I think, I don't know if Kevin's going to mention this, but last year he competed in the state vocational cross-country meet, which is all vocational schools across the state of Massachusetts at the end of the season, and came in first place. The fastest run of all vocational students. So he's terrific at what he does, and he works hard at it, and that's why he's been successful. Like anybody else, you work
Makes a
hard,
difference,
you
yeah.
show up, put your best effort forward, and you'll get a lot out of it. And I think Briae is going to have similar success because she's a dedicated athlete who's committed and works hard, and she'll be equally as talented as well.
So are there some messages that the athletic department kind of gives to the team each year? The Bill Belichick has, do your job. What's the Keefe Tech
Well, the
slogan?
Keefe Tech, actually, what we try to do is just get them to commit for the season, and when you commit, good things happen. We have a no-cut policy. We welcome students to try out for teams like Briae, who's playing basketball this year as a sophomore, never played basketball before. We welcome it. She will be a part of the team. She will not get cut based on her ability. And then we've had kids show up at Keefe Tech as freshmen, participate in a sport that they've never tried before, and end up being captains, all-stars, or MVPs their senior year. So it's a land of opportunity, and we welcome it. We encourage people to get involved, and sports is a big part of it as well.
That's so great. Sports is a real plus in life. I think there's a lot of life skills to get out of sports, out of whether it's just losing a race by half a second and
Right.
trying again. You're telling me though that you had a slogan that you wear on the back of your shirts.
Yes, we do. It says toughness is a talent.
Toughness is a talent.
Yes.
Okay. And as a runner, how does toughness come out?
Well, when you run a 5K, it's all about toughness. it's all mental. It's a mental game. And really, the strongest are the ones who make it out alive through that race.
Okay, well,
as we say.
Toughness is a talent is going down on my list of
I like
things that I'm learning about
And who
just
came
by
up with
doing
that?
this show.
You guys, a team,
Yeah,
came up
as a
with
team,
that?
we came up as a.
That's new this year, or well, you've been doing this for 4 years now, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been there quite a while.
and you're a good example that it works.
Yeah.
So you had to learn some things from him.
I know.
Well, you got basketball coming up, and Coach just mentioned here that you're a rookie
Yes.
at this, and you're learning. And so, what do you hope to get out of basketball this year?
I just hope to get some new experiences and just really get better and do better in basketball. I want to continue basketball throughout my years and just really just have fun with it.
Well, you're a sophomore, so you got some time to learn it. And you've been playing basketball for 4 years. You're
Yes.
playing it.
Yeah. I'm going on to my fourth year right
And
now.
you're a fairly tall guy, so you get to be the center, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? and you get to battle with some people that are, and that's got to be a lesson. So what as a fan, if I wanted to see one of your games, where do I go and how do I get in?
Yep, so right at the school, 750 Winter Street. It's we call it the pool entrance where the swimming pool football field is. The gymnasium is right there. But all our schedules are posted online at www.keefetech.org. Click on athletics, winter sports, and all the schedules.
www.keefetech, all one word, .org.
Correct.
Go on athletics. I'll find the time of the basketball games.
Yeah, have the entire schedule and the times we start for all sports.
And is it easy to park?
Easy to park.
And it's going to cost me a fortune to get in.
You'll be surprised.
I
It
can
won't
afford
cost
it?
you a cent.
Really? Wow, that's kind of
We
my
want-
favorite word.
Yep.
Okay.
Welcome everyone to come on
And so
in.
you get a lot of student support from at the games?
We
Yes.
do.
Yeah, okay.
We have a good base of
And
students.
the games,
that
are they in,
support-
you said they're in the afternoon or in the evening?
So we start them in the afternoons.
Okay.
Varsity
Well.
games used to start later at night. We moved it down to a 4 o'clock start.
Okay.
A lot of kids that will be around school will stay just to watch the games, so they don't have to leave and
Sure.
come back at night.
Men and women on the same doubleheader, or are they different
So we
days?
do. If the boys are away, the girls will be home. If the boys
Okay.
are home, girls will travel. So we have a couple games where we go back to back, girls varsity followed by boys varsity as well.
But typically it's around 4 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good late afternoon thing to do. Nice
Sure is.
afternoon fun for Framingham people. Go out, watch one of your games, go downtown, and you're right in the center of town, so you go down, have dinner at the Depot or one of
There
the
you go.
other great new restaurants coming to downtown Framingham.
Right.
I mean, that's just one, you could go to watch the Celtics and it would cost you a fortune. You have to drive into Boston. You could go see you guys. You could go up to Framingham State after you go have dinner, go up to Framingham State and watch the women and the men play a doubleheader up there. Man, as a sports fan, what could be better? I mean,
It's all right here.
It really is. The other thing that you were telling me about, Chris, and we got a little bit of video about, is this great summer program that you run called Summer Discovery with, I guess, 800 young people from kind of all over the Keefe Tech area. I think we've got a little video that we'll put up and play here about this. And well, why don't you just kind of lead in and talk about how that got started and what it's all about. And I think we're going to highlight some of the sports and the arts piece of it, but there's
Yeah.
more to it than that.
Well, we just finished up the 30th year of Summer Discover. Luckily enough, I was one of the 4 people that worked at camp 30 years ago. Started out as a bit of a recruiting tool to maybe target middle school age kids, give them a great camp experience, maybe have them express an interest in attending Keefe Tech
How
as a
long
high
is the
school
camp?
option. It's 4 weeks. There's two-week sessions during the month of July. But at the end of the day, it ended up being a real nice camp in a great facility at Keefe Tech that started out with approximately 20 campers 30 years ago and progressively increased to the point where we're pushing 800 campers right now.
That's amazing.
And it's just a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
The day is split between a little bit of learning in the career areas and a lot of sports and recreation in the afternoon.
And Kevin, you were saying that you've been involved there as a teacher, a coach, a mentor, or
Yeah, I was involved with pastry making and also sports and rec in the afternoon. So I got a little bit of both worlds. I got to see the cook side of part of it, and then also the outdoors.
wow.
I got to meet a lot of kids, which was awesome.
What kid wouldn't want to go and learn how to make pastry? My
Exactly.
goodness.
They come out
Exactly.
with beautiful
Yeah,
pastries.
and so you have a variety of your other programs at the school that are kind of,
Yes, during
That's
summer
great,
camp
isn't
we
it?
have a total of 17 different options for them to choose from, and they'll rotate through those activities, and then all the sports and recreations they can have in the afternoons, quite a bit. We have the whole facility to ourselves, so good environment for a camp.
well,
It's
that's
really taken off.
Yeah, And so how does somebody sign up for this?
Well, we actually last year we had signups. We always open up right after the new year, January 1st. Last year, 3 weeks into opening up registration, we had 631 campers enrolled. 3 weeks into it, so it's
Success breeds.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and our biggest thing is we try to continue to tap into different areas of the school that we're not using, just to continue to expand the camp as much as we possibly
And
can.
the ages that are of the participants?
So the ages range from 9-year-olds to 13-year-olds,
Okay.
basically the middle school age. by the time they get into high school, they pretty much outgrew the camp.
Is this somewhat of a recruitment vehicle too?
It was a recruitment vehicle at first, and we do have some kids attend Keefe Tech because they had such a great camp experience, and they took an interest in Keefe after that. But at the end of the day, it's a great job for some of the teachers that work at Keefe Tech, a great opportunity for the students to showcase their skills, what they learned, and now they can go apply that into a working environment and have fun doing it, take care of the athletes with the sports and rec part of it, and just provide a nice opportunity for kids in the area to have a great camp experience.
Oh, that's terrific. Keefe Tech is as you said, there's 5 different towns that provide you, so certainly a partnership in that sense that's bringing the whole kind of a Metro West area collectively together. But just kind of talking about partnerships, you were telling me how you worked out this thing with Framingham State to play their football game, play their football games at Bowditch, where you could use their field, and now you partner with Marion to create a bigger football team. Just talk a little bit about that whole, the way all those pieces kind of come together.
Yeah,
I assume the athletic director had a lot to do with that.
Well, we had some great successes running a football program at Keefe Tech for years, Marion as well, but then we hit a point in time where our numbers were dropping. We had a few rough years, and we got to the point where our numbers couldn't really sustain a program, and Marion was in a very similar situation. So 4 years ago, the 2 schools combined to form one team. It's a co-op process that has to go through the MIAA and accepted and approved. So I think it was a couple years in a row where we didn't win a football game. We co-opted with Marion, and all of a sudden won 6 games that first year. So it provides an opportunity for 2 small schools to continue offering the sport of football and then get to the point where you can have some success again. The first year we co-opted, Keefe Tech was down to about 13 or 14 players. 4 years ago, we have almost 35 players now. So through success, it brings an interest, numbers have increased. So we're at the point where we could eventually, and at some point in time, branch off and have our own separate team again, similar to Marion. And that's the idea of co-op, just to get you back to the point where you can do it yourselves.
Sure, create a better team and create more of a more sense. Did you play any football there, Kevin?
No, I did not.
That's one thing you haven't done. I see some wear and tear on your roller skates.
Yeah.
And so are you guys football fans? Do you go to the football games or any of the other games? Or
Yes.
I imagine it's very common that the students kind of all support each other, I guess. So you probably have friends that play. And that's one of the great things about local sports is going to a game and seeing people you know and hanging with people you know. And it really starts in school. And you had this nice partnership where you get to use the Framingham State field then, right? So.
Right, that all started a few years ago. Framingham State, under the direction of Tom Kelly, head football coach, their success was phenomenal. So they actually outgrew their stadium, and Bowditch is a much nicer facility for parking, and it holds many more people, spectators. So they made the switch from Friday nights at Framingham State to playing at 12 o'clock Saturday afternoons at Bowditch. And that opened the door for us, instead of playing Saturday games at Keefe Tech, to play Friday night under the lights on a turf field at Framingham State with Marion. So that's been our home field for the last 4 years now.
That's another item on my list, is go see one of your football games next year. I
really
plead
works
guilty,
out nice.
and I bet there's people out there in video land here who have never seen a Keefe Tech sporting event. And,
Well,
when you're making your New Year's resolutions next year, sports fans, you're all going to go see a Keefe Tech game. You only have to go to one, and if you don't have a good time, you don't have to go again. But my guess is from going to a variety of sporting events that I've been seeing now since I've been doing this show is you're going to want to go back, because there's just so much energy in school sports. I mean, the energy that you guys talked about when you're playing is just it's just fun to watch as a fan.
It's just sports gives students like a rounded off high school experience, just taking advantage of everything our school has to offer. A great school academically, all the career and technical areas. We opened up a new career, dental assistant. We opened up a new career field in legal and protective services. Enrollment is increasing at Keefe Tech. It's kind of like the best kept secret over there. The high school education they get at Keefe Tech is phenomenal, and the sports to round off that high school education is just a great package. And
you both are kind of have colleges in your career plans in the future as as a medical person. And you were telling me, Kevin, that you're going to you've got a whole different look on college after
Yeah.
beyond culinary.
Yes, I want to go in and study psychology as a major, hopefully for 4 years to get my bachelor's.
Doing sports certainly helps one with psychology, understanding the
Oh yes.
winning and losing in life. And if you want to go in the medical field, are you kind of beginning to shape that, or are you just kind of, at this point, figuring it out as a sophomore?
I'm thinking about it. I definitely want to attend med school, but I'm thinking of joining the Air Force, so then I'll get my college and maybe my med school paid for.
There you go.
So then I won't be
Very
in any
good.
debt. So yeah.
The economics of this stuff is critical. Well, maybe be a star basketball player by the time.
Maybe.
One of the things I always like to talk to people is this is a show for sports fans. Are you all basically sports fans of the local laundry, or as they say? But you played football, you told me, so you must have some football interest.
Well, yeah, I played football at Ashland High School, great experience, and on to Framingham State. So over the last few years, I've been a big follower of the Framingham State Rams under Tom Kelly, who was a coach when I was playing way back in the day, but all Patriots all the way too with football.
Yeah.
Yep. Riding that wave. Oh
Yeah,
my
well,
goodness.
it's fun. I mean, we're just in a period here where
Unbelievable Boston
it may not
fans.
last forever, but
No.
well, Briae, what about you? Do you follow women's basketball? Do you follow UConn or any of that?
Pretty much the extent of me following sports is just I go to every single home game for Keefe Tech football, but I don't really follow the big leagues. I'll watch the Super Bowl, but
Okay.
you know.
You might want to check out women's basketball on TV, college basketball, especially the UConn team. I mean, they're amazing. I mean, they're the Patriots of college women's basketball.
Oh, incredible.
And I think I heard you say before you were a fan of one of our local enemies,
Yeah, the Golden State
the
Warriors.
Golden State Warriors. Oh no, you must have been crushed when the Celtics beat them recently.
Yeah, but I know that when it comes to the finals and we make it to the
Briae's
end,
laughing at me already.
we'll make it.
Well, I mean, the fun thing about being a sports fan is you can pretend it's so important, and when your team loses, it has absolutely no consequence in your life. Yeah. I mean, the Red Sox for years, broke my heart, and so, all right, so yeah, well, who can't like Steph Curry and some of those guys? I mean, again, you're cheering for excellence. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's why we like the Patriots.
Yeah.
Well, this conversation could go on for a lot longer. We've only touched this, and I'd love to have you back with some of your other athletes, maybe later in the year. Maybe we can get into baseball or something in the spring. But this has been great, and fans out there watching in AFTV land, stay tuned for more Framingham Fan to Fan, and keep watching. You never know what kind of exciting sports events are going to show up here on Fan to Fan.